US election days away. The 5th of November. Is this going to be the catalyst for a big move here on Bitcoin and crypto markets? You're seeing a lot of speculation around whether Harris is good for crypto, whether Trump needs to be in power for crypto to do really well. This is an investment channel, but I'm going to give you my take, which may surprise some of you guys as to what I expect to happen post the US election and which scenario is better for crypto. We've got Bitcoin here initially breaking out from a very long consolidation pattern, a consolidation pattern which we have been watching since March. But have we stalled? We saw a little bit of a dump here after initially breaking out. Is this pattern now nullified, or are we still in play to head up to those juicy price targets of 90K, 100K here on Bitcoin? I'm going to break that down because, of course, that's going to have a big impact for all of our altcoins. I'm seeing a lot of people doing TA on altcoins, which is great, doing your analysis on altcoins. But the fact of the matter is, if Bitcoin does not break from this pattern, I'm sorry to break it to you guys, you know this, but I just need to tell you the harsh truth. If Bitcoin cannot break out here, now, October, November time, and it starts getting rejected back down into this channel, you will see blood across your portfolio and it will not be a fun sight. So we desperately need Bitcoin to retest here, like it's trying to do, and break out towards that 100,000 target. But there's that one small thing in the way of Bitcoin, and that is the fear, the nervousness, the uncertainty. Remember, investors hate uncertainty around the US elections. Seeing a lot of rhetoric around Trump being positive for crypto, maybe Kamala not being so good. But both of them are coming out and saying positive things about crypto. The fact of the matter is, let's be real here, and I can be real as a non-US citizen, right? None of them care. None of these politicians care about you, and they do not care about crypto. All they care about is their existing status quo, their fiat currency, their central banks, the IMF. That is it. They do not care about you and I, the little men, trying to make themselves financially free. They couldn't care less. If they see an opportunity to kind of reel you in to get some votes, they're going to do exactly that, right? They're going to do exactly that. So the fact of the matter is, whether it's Trump was in power, what did he do for Bitcoin? There wasn't that much. Now you're going to a Bitcoin conference and rally? Come on. Neither of these guys matter. But something more important matters, which is going to be inevitable for crypto anyway. And that is going to be the rate cutting cycle. Because guess what? Like I've always said, always maintained, the banks, the central banks of the global economies, they always mess up. Yep, let me bring out the global liquidity here. This is global liquidity, these lines you're looking at. Bitcoin is correlated to this thing. When global liquidity goes up, Bitcoin and risk on assets do well. It's just simple. That's just how it works. It's not rocket science. More money in the system, risk on assets do well. Tesla does better, luxury watches does better, real estate does better, your crypto and your altcoins do better, Bitcoin goes on booms. You need money in the economy. But they're not going to print money in the economy so you and I on our Bitcoin can do really well and get financially free. They couldn't care less. In fact, they're going to do it to save their very own little fiat currency, right? They're going to save their little bubble of an economy. So they do it every single time. Boom and bust, boom and bust, boom and bust. So right now, we do not need to sit there begging for a pro-Bitcoin candidate. The fact of the matter is, none of these guys care. Whether it's Gary Gensler and co, whether it's Jerome Powell, these guys will continue to try to keep crypto down. Why? Because they're scared that cryptocurrency will topple the dollar, even though that may not be our aim, right? Maybe we want to coexist, but they're still worried. They don't want any other currency to get close to the dollar, and for that reason, they will just use us when it's beneficial to them for a voting base. That being said, despite all their attempts to choke crypto, and we've seen it. We've seen the countries ban crypto and then unban it. We've seen Gary Gensler and Operation Choke Point really try to make it difficult for exchanges, going after Coinbase, going after Binance, going after and closing down Paxos's BUSD stablecoin. They're going to continue to do that. Don't think that they're on your side. But the thing is, they can't put the genie back in the lamp, can they? Because if they could, they would have done so in 2008. They would have done so in 2012. They would have done so in 2016, 2020. They would have done so by now. The fact that Bitcoin is still here, the fact that cryptocurrencies are still here, it's the politicians, it's the central banks that are starting to accept that maybe we're going to have to live with this beast, right? Maybe we're going to have to learn to live with it. That being said, we don't need them. We just need global liquidity. We just need the traditional system to continue to mess their own self up, which is what they've continuously done, which is they're going to mess up. They mess up inflation. they mess up the economy and they have to cut rates dramatically. And we're seeing that already. We had 50 basis points. We expect another 50 to 25 basis points in this next meeting in November. And we should be on our way down and down and down, bringing that Fed funds rate down. But what happens when you can't bring it down anymore? And we've seen this in the past. They have to turn the money printer on again. They will have to do their quantitative easing again. This is just the peaks and this is the peaks and the troughs of their printing cycle. This is the game they always play. And the fact of the matter is, if you can time this cycle perfectly, and we're heading into that cycle now, if you've been in crypto throughout this period, right, from when Bitcoin was at 69 all the way down to 15,500 and then all the way back to highs, this was a tightening period. They were increasing rates at the fastest cycle they've done so in a very, very long time to tackle the post-pandemic inflation. Now, they need to bring it all the way back down again. That's going to lead to more money in the economy. That's going to help risk on assets, and it should be bad for dollar index. So we've seen a couple of weeks good here on dollar index. We need to push this to the downside. I need to see this get rejected by this red area here, so this can push to the downside. If this can start cooling off and get rejected, either by the purple here, the support term resistance, maybe something like this, that's then going to be good for Bitcoin. That will allow us here on Bitcoin to get that same effect, which is breakout, retest, boom, off we go. That's what we need to see here on Bitcoin. We're looking good, right? This, from a technical perspective, is absolutely fine. A lot of people were saying, oh, is this a bit of a concern? No. We broke out, great. We worked our way back up. We came back down. We used this pivot point. See this white line I drew? That's from this peak here. We used it to bounce, and we managed to get back up again. Still got work to do, okay? If I zoom now into the 4-hourly, you can see a little small triangle, this white triangle now forming. We've got to break to the upside. We've got to get a higher high. We've got to work our way past 69.5. Bitcoin's going to keep the momentum up. But that's only going to happen if the dollar index can get put back in this box. We don't want to see this green candle sticking. We need to see this come back down from this red box and trend to the downside. That's going to allow risk on assets here for Bitcoin. Now, a lot of you asking, what am I doing in this market? Well, right now here in this market, when Bitcoin's so overextended, I don't want to be buying, guys. I'm not a buyer in this market right now when we're on the edge of a breakout. If this cools back down to here, if we see a pullback down into 63, 63.8, I'll probably have a little nibble. Of course, if we want to come back down and test down to these levels, which would be really painful for the market, guys. I mean, if we come down here on Bitcoin, that would be really painful. There'll be a lot of upset in this market, and I would definitely take the opportunity to be buying in those levels. Even anywhere in this center range, like I said, once we lose this support, if we lose this support, I would nibble. But I'm not nibbling here. If this wants to break now and go to the upside, fantastic. We've had plenty of time here in this consolidation to get your portfolio right. I've made countless videos. Each one of these is a daily candle. And I made a video on those daily candles saying, guys, act now. While it's consolidating, take the moment to act. You're going to regret it once it goes. Because once Bitcoin goes, look at these candlesticks here. It will just go. It won't wait for anybody. It's coiled up like a frustrated spring. Once it goes, it will just erupt. And all coins will then follow thereafter. Speaking of which, check out the Bitcoin dominance as well. Continues to climb, right? This is what's frustrating people, because the majority of people, I'm sure you watching here as well, you have altcoin heavy portfolios. You don't like to see Bitcoin outperforming altcoins, but that's just the way it is right now. and it's the necessary evil. You need Bitcoin to move to set the pace. That's fundamentally what needs to happen. You can see here, Bitcoin dominance has gone from lows down there, 48% up. 48% move here on dominance since towards the end of 2022. And this was predicted. I spoke about this once we broke out from this channel. I said, guys, expect this to go work up towards 70. We've now just hit through my first level, which is 60. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin dominance want to continue a little bit more closer to that 70. Maybe it won't hit 70. 70 was the dominance level from the previous cycle. Maybe we've got more mature altcoins in this cycle, so maybe we don't necessarily need to hit 70 on dominance, but at least 65, 63, 62. You're seeing this big move on dominance, which is good. There's nothing wrong with it. After that, you'll see dominance call off and altcoins will have their moment. So there you have it, guys. That's the movement we're seeing on the market. Nothing much for me to worry about. I mean, we're looking good here. If I look at the weekly chart here, just to wrap up, look at this. This is a beautiful chart. I don't mind this chart whatsoever. A nice extended move here all the way to the top. Calls off for a couple of months. Now I'm expecting a big impulsive move to the upside. I'm going to wrap up just by showing you the Bollinger Bands as well. Nice constricted period here on the Bollinger Band. You will now want to see an expansive phase here working towards our $90,000 and $100,000 target. So there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed your Friday. Hope you all have a really good weekend. If you actively want to trade with me, you guys already know where to do that. Ijazcrypto.com BITFLEX.com/TG. I'm actively trading altcoins, and you guys can do so too. Even if you're a beginner, message me, link will be in the description, and I'll walk you through how you can get started. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.